What is up, everybody? SEC to the football to the two, back on their video for you guys today on Halloween night. It is, at the time I'm recording this, it is in the final hours of Halloween. And it's actually been an incredible night so far. I went to an event with friends at work. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, you don't always have to be a kid to enjoy Halloween. You know, it's fun. But anyways, you know what else is fun? A top 10 team coming to Williams-Brice Stadium at night in November. Boy, y'all remember the last time that happened? Yeah, because I sure as hell do. The number 10, Texas A&M Aggies, currently number 1 in the SEC. Yeah, you heard that right. The Aggies are number 1 in the SEC. This is not a test. This is not a drill. In Mike Elko's first year, the Aggies are leading the conference. But now here comes the biggest challenge for the Aggies. Staying number 1. And the Aggies are going to look to stay number 1 as they travel to Williams-Brice Stadium at night on Saturday to face off against the rested and hungry South Carolina team, who is 4-3, but they've given a lot of good teams fits this year. South Carolina is not a pushover, and a lot of Texas A&M fans I've talked to online have even said that they know that South Carolina is going to be a test. Of course, there are the Aggie fans who are like, oh, we should have no problem beating South Carolina. We're going to take care of business. We're going to destroy them. It won't be close. You know, Carolina fans are delusional if they think they have a chance in this game. But a good bit of A&M fans have said that they're a little worried about this game. They know it's going to be challenging, and they're not overlooking South Carolina, and neither should their team. And they are correct. Vegas also thinks that this is going to be a close game, as A&M is only a 3-point favorite. I thought for sure A&M was going to be, at least an 8-point favorite, but they're only a 3-point favorite. So Vegas even thinks the Gamecocks could give the Aggies some trouble. So can South Carolina pull off the upset against a top 10 team at home? We saw South Carolina get close against LSU and Alabama, 2 teams they really should have beat if we're being honest. Can they do it? Can they finally do it against Texas A&M? The Texas A&M Aggies are a really good football team this year, guys. They are. They got a fantastic front 7, a promising new quarterback in Marshall Reed, who, let me tell you, dude only threw and completed 2 passes last week, but he ran for 3 touchdowns and 62 yards. A&M has got a running threat at quarterback. The Texas A&M offensive line, the front 5, was fantastic at helping the running game absolutely throttle the LSU defense. 242 yards rushing. So A&M is a threat when it comes to running the football. And don't get it twisted. South Carolina, they've been good against the run. They have. South Carolina's defensive line is really, really good. And they are going to get pressure. They lead the SEC in sacks. They lead it in tackle for loss. They're arrested defense. And it's at home at night. So South Carolina has got to stop the run. They got to stop the run. The only thing is, in 3 of South Carolina's losses, the 3 teams they lost to actually had some success running the football against South Carolina. I will tell you this. I do think A&M is going to get theirs offensively in the running game against South Carolina. But I also believe that the Gamecock defense is going to continue to play great. And they're going to make them uncomfortable. Often, too, whether it's Reed or Wigman, I truly believe this South Carolina defense will make things uncomfortable for the Aggie offense. But I also think the Aggie offense is going to be able to run the football here. South Carolina has to stop the run, and they have to force turnovers. South Carolina's record under Shane Beamer is really, really good. When they win a turnover margin, you have to do that. You have to have a big day defensively against A&M. Make the offense one-dimensional and limit the Aggies scoring. Limit the rushing yards. Make the passing game non-existent. You have to make them look one-dimensional. I strongly believe if South Carolina is going to win this game, they're going to have to do it on the heels of their defense. They are going to have to rely on a big day defensively. Because here's what's worrying me. And I'm not saying South Carolina's offense can't have a breakout game and can't play well. But let's call it for what it is. You have one of the worst offensive lines in the SEC, in college football. The worst in the SEC, actually. One of the worst in college football. You're giving up over 4 sacks a game. And you're going up against a fantastic Texas A&M front seven. We're also turning the football over, which is not good. In the 3 losses, South Carolina turned it over multiple times. To cut this short, the Alabama game. So many opportunities South Carolina had in that football game to pull ahead, and turnovers absolutely screwed them. The stupid decisions, the stupid mistakes, a lot of things offensively that really worried me about this game. Texas A&M, they've taken the ball away recently. In like 4 of the last 5 games, they've been able to create turnovers. That's a team that's able to get after the quarterback. That's a team that's able to take the ball away. And like I said, it's a team that's thriving on the ground. And that's what worries me. South Carolina's defense. Fantastic defensive line. Front seven is incredible. There are some weaknesses, but most of all, it's a great defense. But will the offense be able to pull ahead in this game? Will they? I'm going to tell you guys this. I actually think that South Carolina is going to show up and play a really good game on Saturday. For whatever reason it is in my gut, I have a feeling about this game. I have a gut feeling about this game, and I've had it before, and Carolina's gotten upsets. Multiple times, in fact, and South Carolina's gotten upsets. I do think that this defense is going to keep South Carolina in this game for as long as they can. I think A&M's going to get theirs on the ground. They've been able to do that. But I think South Carolina's defense is also going to be able to get after the quarterback and contain them. And maybe we'll see some things from this offense. Maybe the bye week helps. Maybe it does. Although the last bye week we had this season against Ole Miss, it didn't help. We will see. The Gamecocks have another opportunity. Will they take advantage? Will they upset a top 10 team? That's crazy SEC football, too. There's no way. Well, Arkansas beat Tennessee. We've seen upsets. Vandy, for the love of God, beat Alabama. I don't want to hear a word from anybody who thinks that an upset can't happen. In South Carolina, they're a dangerous football team. They got issues, but they're dangerous. Again, I have a gut feeling about this game. But I don't know if I'm going to pick this game with my gut. I don't know. Because my gut's telling me an upset's happening. Dare I go with my gut? I don't think I can do it, guys. I don't think I can do it. Because sometimes the gut's not always right. And like I said, there are worries for me about this South Carolina offense against A&M. And as good as South Carolina's defense is, I can't help but be a little worried about A&M's running threat. I can't. We will see what happens, but I really do think that South Carolina, they're going to give A&M their best shot. It's going to be a game. Williams-Brice is going to be a madhouse. The Gamecocks are wearing all black. It's going to be an upset prime environment, Williams-Brice. I truly believe that. And again, my gut is telling me an upset is going to happen. But dare I pick it? Dare I pick it? Because the thing for me, guys, is I don't know which South Carolina team shows up. The team that showed up against LSU, Kentucky, and Oklahoma, or the team that showed up against Ole Miss in Alabama, in Old Dominion. Which version of South Carolina shows up? You're fresh off a bye week. The last time, get this, guys, the last time, now granted, they were bad that year, but in 2022, the last time A&M came to Williams-Brice, the Gamecocks were fresh off a bye week. It was at night, and South Carolina won. Again, this A&M team is in the top 10. This is a good Aggie team. That A&M team in 2022, they didn't even make a bowl game. They were really, really bad. But hey, SEC teams, they've had a problem going into Williams-Brice at night. South Carolina's been able to have some success at home at night in November against SEC teams. Ask Tennessee how that worked out. Ask Kentucky last year how that worked out. But it's more than just a home field advantage. It's more than just Williams-Brice at night. Guys, they're not in the SEC, and it pains me to use this, but I'm going to have to prove this point. Every single freaking time that Clemson has played South Carolina at night since 2013, they've won. It didn't matter. So it doesn't always matter. The team's got to be able to show up. And I do think South Carolina, again, they are going to test A&M. As good as A&M is running the football, I actually think South Carolina's defense is going to play well. I think they're going to get pressure. I think they're going to create a couple turnovers. I think they're going to do well enough to keep Carolina in the game and give them a shot to effing win the game. My trust issues is with the offense. Give Texas A&M's defense credit. They are studs. Their front seven is studs. So, again, South Carolina's offensive line, the worst in the SEC. And if you cannot have any success offensively on Saturday night, you're not going to have a chance. What did the Ole Miss game show us? Yeah, it wasn't very pretty for the defense either, but the defense gave you every fighting chance, and the offense couldn't do anything in the Ole Miss game. South Carolina, they had to have a pulse offensively. Got to find receivers. You got to give Lenora Sellers time to cook. Because when Lenora Sellers has time and actually has the time to be able to make good decisions, less mistakes happen. And we've seen him make good plays when he actually has time to think about what he's going to do and execute it. Thing is, 32 sacks. He hasn't. He hasn't had much time. And I don't know. I cannot trust this offense right now. They are going to have to show me something. I don't trust the offense enough to pick South Carolina to win the game. I don't. Again, I think the Gamecocks are going to come close. I think it's going to be a really good game. And in the fourth quarter, Carolina might have a lead and have a shot. I could see this being very similar to the Alabama game, believe it or not. I really could. But just like in the Alabama game, I don't know if I have the trust for the offense to be able to deliver. My gut is picking an upset. My gut tells me Carolina is going to win. And there's no football reason as to why. And to be fair, the other times my guts told me we were going to win in upsets, and we did, there weren't football reasons either for that. But I just can't go with my gut here. I can't. I got the Aggies getting the win, getting a turnover to seal the deal for the Aggies. This one hurts. I never ever want to pick against South Carolina. Never, ever, ever. And I love to be bold enough to pick a top 10 upset. And I know some Gamecock fans are. But Dow Loggins, Lonnie Teasley, I have serious trust issues, and it's holding me back from being bold right now. I just don't think it's going to happen. As much as I love for it to happen, as much as I think it actually is possible, and again, before anyone says it's not possible, there have been so many effing upsets this season. Do not even tell me it's not possible. But I don't think the offense can get it done. So I got the Aggies getting a very close, thrilling win at Williams-Brice Stadium. And the Gamecocks will be 4-4. I pray to God I'm wrong. I pray to God I'm wrong. Maybe this is just battered South Carolina Central speaking. But right now, I just can't pick the upset. But of course, I'm pulling hard for it. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, hope I'm wrong. I hope the Gamecocks make me eat it on Saturday night. I'd be glad to. But until then, gotta say what's on my mind. Aggies win, but the Gamecocks, beware. Because it ain't going to go as easy as some A&M fans think. Go Gamecocks. See you Saturday, Aggies. Oh, and let me ask you something. The recent cult meeting, were you guys yelling, preparing to be disappointed on Saturday?